Hi. Okay, this is going to be my second video. Boom. And then I have this box here. Not my shop. Not a sponsor. This is just the store that I did this in. Right, so I have to figure out the focus. Move these away. It's where I did the cards for the grading with CGC, which is one of the big major companies. Now they've started doing these in China earlier this year, I think, or maybe last year. They decided they were going to do they did a deal with, I'm going to call them Chin Card, the company that prints out all these cards for the Chinese market, which is primarily the Football Association, the CFA, and the CNBA, which is the basketball. They also have licenses. They have licenses, I think, with a club. I think it's Tianjin. City close, the city next to, pretty much right next to Beijing. It's 30 minutes on the high-speed train. But also, I think they have the national license, the Chinese national team. So there's basketball cards, there's football cards. Seems to be their primary bread and butter. So CGC, I think, announced we'll accept these cards. There was another company that did it. For example, the Dakar cards. They're really popular now with the Newcastle ones, the Manchester City ones, the AC Milan ones, and I think there's an Inter Milan one. Where if you buy a special box that you buy, inside, you get a couple of packs of cards. But then there's one kind of graded card in a big pack. But it's kind of funny though, because I saw one being opened literally the other day. Guy was doing a Man City pack, and he got a really cool looking hologram. It was out of 50. It was numbered to 50, and but it had an 8.5. I would expect a little bit more. I've seen people do polls on their own websites, on YouTube, and I've seen them get 9s and 9.5, or even an 8.5. All right. Now I'm gonna say there's one. I already saw these when I picked these up, and it was just kind of black. Wasn't it was in a box. I had to open the box, and it had already been opened. So we're gonna so basically what I had here is a whole bunch of signatures, some shirt cards and so forth. So I've already kind of seen them, but it was a big surprise here, and one that I didn't expect. When I saw it in the shop, I was like, wow. And they were impressed. Anyway, so let's get this started. So I'm going to start off with this shirt card. All right, for Owusu. There he is. Okay. And we got a 9 on that one. Nice mint card. I got these earlier back in February. This is a set that came out in January. Again, the Chinese football. And these cards are the shirt cards, and this one was out of 50, 20 out of 50. And then this is my first time. I just kind of took all my numbered cards. I was like, grade them. All right. So that's a really cool one. Getting a 9 on that. All right. That was some signatures. So there were 2 other shirt cards I got graded. That are specifically shirt cards. So what we'll do is we'll do this one. All right. So we'll put that one over here. There it is. All right. This one here. All right. I am gonna butcher these players' names. Jia Feifan, Plays for Shandong. But being a Beijing fan, I have to be like, boo. Only an 8. This is the silver one, special silver variant. There was the copper one, and that puts this out of 25. But it's number one of 25. I'm a bit disappointed on the grade there with an 8. When I initially dropped these off at the shop, the guy, he's obviously been around the block a bit. He kind of took all the cards. He looked at these ones and said, 9? Kind of like put it there as a 9. Now I have Ma Sheng. What does he play for again? I'm thinking it's Wuhan. No, it's Nantong. This is like a copper. 8.5, slightly better result there. I mean, it's near mint, it's like, 27 out of 50. It's okay. Cool. All right, and let's double check that's all my jersey cards I did. Yeah, okay. All right, so I've got a lot of signatures coming up, and I had to do a little bit extra on the signatures. But this one wasn't a signature. This one is one of those kind of like, where you get the variants of the base cards, where you've got your base set, and then you've got the like a kind of some kind of variant hologram effect, and there's maybe slightly different color effects, and so on and so on and so on and so on. To the point, and then you get numbers, so it might go from like, and I think these were going from like the first number ones were like kind of 125 or something like that. Well, going through, I got this guy. He plays for Henan, and as you can see, it's a 10. But as you can probably notice, it's got a big shiny effect, and it's very special. All right, because it's also a 1 of 1. All right, so I was lucky enough to get this card. He's an alright player. I like these kind of cards, and I like these cards specifically with the data on the back here for when they had the players in the base sets. They're kind of like their kind of goal scoring history down there. Their kind of play history here. Kind of like a little bit of like football trivia, football stats. I've got some other ones as well, but I mean, I really like this. But this is like a 1 of 1 here, and I was very happy to see this one as a 10. That's so now I'm going to move into signatures, and I think with the signatures I paid a little bit extra. Where you can go in and do like have the autographed graded as well. But the way it does that, as far as I'm aware, is they looking at how the autograph is kind of written on the placement of the autograph as well. All right, so before we do the autos, I've got one more player card. All right, this is is it Shenhua? Yeah, it's a Shanghai Shenhua player. Okay, Gao Tianyi. All right, again, doing my best with the Chinese. It should be much better. Only a 9. That's still pretty cool. And this is rated 5 out of 5. And again, this is one of those kind of variations from the base set. I have some new cards. When I went to the shop and picked these up, I also handed over some new cards to get graded. And from one set, You know, it was a variant from the base set. It was like 3 of 3, I think it is, of the Shandong manager card. So we'll see how that one comes. All right, so now we're moving on to onto the autos. So like I said, well, you probably might even know if you're into these kind of things, the autograph is also graded, but like in terms of like its quality, its placement on the card and so forth like that. And I feel that's a bit unfair because the autograph, you know, like if it's not in the right place, I mean that's up to the card designer. When it was written on a little piece on the sticker and then put on the card for it. So here we have Willem. All right. Let's cover up the so we got make it a bit special. It's nice there. It's a nice card. This. Hopefully, maybe you can tell it's a bit bronze, like in the golden there. This was placed in 34 out of 50. All right. And they gave me a 9 with a auto 10. So, but also as well as I think when you're doing the autograph ones, it specifically kind of goes autographs, because you can have the card rated and graded, but not the autograph. If you have the autograph graded as well, it kind of doubles down the authenticity of it, because I mean it is saying, you know, here the usual kind of like blah blah blah, you know, it's a signed card. Or like, you know, we promise this is a signed card. You know, by the company, like you get with the paninis and the tops and so on. But also this kind of helps, especially with the whole scandal with like those Messi cards, where, you know, people were hunting for those like low number like Messi signed signature cards, only to get them sent off for grading and then come back with like, yeah, it's fake. So that's kind of cool. So that's a 9 for the card. Mint. 9's really good. 9's really cool. But a 10 on the auto. So that's really cool. Next up, one of my favorite players. Sadly, he retired. Is Udabo, Beijing card. So obviously, this will definitely be in like a personal collection. And I know this was a higher number as well. This came in at like 25 out of 25. So there's a nice rarity to that. All right. So let's see what they gave us. They gave us a 9 and an auto 9. I don't know. I don't know how they kind of grade a signature. You know, maybe it cuts into the yellow a little bit here, but then it does on the other one as well. But I don't know. Maybe it's just too. I don't know. All right, down to our last 2 cards. All right. So we have Leo Dian Joe. I'm going to say Joe. Dian Joe. Right. That's another bronze signature card. Goalkeeper this time. And that's like that's numbered at 5 out of 50. 5 out of 50. And they gave us an auto of 9, but with a graded card of 10. So They're like, you know, this card is in mint condition, but the auto is only a 9. Alright, so now for the card that absolutely blew me away. And seem to be doing kind of okay with, like, you know, players from this particular club, if we get to see it. I'm going to use our keeper to keep the save. There we go. Alright, this is Yan. This is him again. Yang Ding Hao. Yang Ding Hao. Alright. Signed card. It is a 5 of 5. 5 of 5 signed card. It's got a nice kind of holographic effect there, which is really cool. But this one was just like an absolute shock. Alright. So I'm just gonna slide it here. It's gonna be in the bottom corner. Dun, 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 dun. You can probably already tell. It's a pristine 10. A pristine 10. And very difficult to get these, like, even like just from the straight from the box, like straight out of a pack. That means like the card is flawless. As far as they're concerned, the card is perfect. However, it does, you can probably just see it says there, auto 9. So maybe not too perfect. Signature could have been better. But the card itself is considered to be perfect. And I was like, I was shocked. Obviously, we've got some 10s here, and you know, like this one here, it's a 10, but this is a pristine, which means it's like completely fit. It's perfect. I don't know what is the big difference between a gem 10 and a pristine 10. What is that tiny difference between the two? No idea. But I'll take it. So that was the big hit. That was the big one. Had me all giddy in the shop. But I think it was really cool that you know, like, I think seeing these two cards, both basically 10s, come back, I was really happy, very satisfied. So what I've sent a very special card. Bit of a spoiler, it's a 1 of 1. So it's a unique card. So hoping for a good grade on that one. It's been sitting around for a while because these cards took forever to come back from the grading. But the but also as well, with some of those cards, there's a couple of signatures in there. So a couple of very low number cards. Like there's a card that was one. There's a couple of cards in there that are 3 out of 3. So right down, almost, right down to the wire there. However, I've been getting the Gundam card game that's gonna come out, and I got a special card there, which is like these kind of like alternate art cards, or special cards, which are like plus in their rarity, and I did get a plus card, and so I'm gonna get that graded because I'm never gonna use it. And then it's a special card, but it'll be a good like kind of souvenir. Just to kind of have that as a kind of maybe a graded card in the collection. I've seen those cards for sale, and I've seen those cards for sale on eBay. These Gundam ones. Specifically the one that I've sent off for grading. But I haven't seen one graded yet. but I've seen people sell it already online. So I think it'll be cool just to kind of have that there graded and, just like, well, I'm never going to use it, at least kind of like, might as well get it graded. So, but yeah. And also as well with the autograph cards, I've also just gone for the auto grading as well. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so thanks for watching, and I know that I'll have the Gundam card game. I'll probably do a box of that when it comes out. I believe towards the end of next month. That's coming out towards the end of September. That's the GDO2 set. I also have the fifth starter box. Maybe that one comes out first. I'm not sure. I can't remember. That introduces these kind of like purple Gundam cards. All right, talking about Gundam and this football that's in front of me. All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you again next time.